Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This video, like, comment, share. This video is to release the people of the African diaspora, particularly the ones who went through the slave trade, to basically introduce you to the releasing, the liberation from your slavery. And what I mean by that is because something very interesting came to me very recently. I talk about cows a lot. And as you know, I always mention that cows are extremely important to Krishna. It is said that man worships Krishna and Krishna worships the cow. When we keep putting these things together and putting together when they say Krishna actually lives in a place called Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka means cow world. Go is cow, Loka means world, or planet of the cows, as you may. He actually lives on a planet full of cows. I mean, amongst other unlimited varieties of life and paraphernalia and friends and abodes, there are many cows on Goloka Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is just what you would call a forest that's inhabited by tulsi plants or the holy basil, which you could look up for yourself. Speaking of the holy basil, I saw this Infinity Wars movie recently, and I find it interesting that to create a weapon that's strong enough for a person like Thor, even though it's so-called mythology, you have to look at the science, the underlying science. Where did they go to forge his weapon? They went to a neutron star. Now, I don't know if you know anything about neutron stars. A lot of people do. And for those that don't know, a neutron star is so dense, the material is dense, that if you had a portion of that material about the size of a nickel, US nickel, and if you had it on the planet Earth, it would be so dense and it would be so heavy that it will fall through the Earth, all the way through the core of the planet, rip through the other side of the Earth, and hover in the air momentarily before falling back through the Earth. That's a nickel-sized portion of neutron star material. And we talking about Thor's hammer, which, I mean, to the eyes, it should be about 10 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it's a good 10-pound hunk of metal. And that's his hammer, made out of neutron star material. I bring that up in relationship to Tulsi because when they were trying to get the weight of Krishna on a scale, they was putting all kind of heavy objects and gold and diamond and precious rubies and all of this, a lot of material stuff. They tried to weigh it against Krishna, and Krishna's weight wouldn't budge. It took all of that off and just put one tulsi leaf on the scale next to Krishna, and it pretty much moved his weight. It outweighed him, to show you the value of something that could be considered material, but it's really dense on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? It's packed with potency, so to speak. So, Krishna resides on the cow world. The cow in the Vedas is known as the mother. In ancient Africa, the cow was also a very, very important being, known as a mother and a goddess. As a matter of fact, to this day, there's a tribe in Sudan called Mundari, Mundari. Look them up. They have some interesting practices in reference to the cow. So the cow was sacred in the ancient world. No matter where you look, India, Asia, Africa, it was sacred. The cow is known as the mother. Now, I'll ask you, what continent on this planet is known as the motherland? Of course, it brings us back to Africa. So if Goloka is the world of the cows, then Africa must be the Godesha, or the land of the cows. Therefore, I'm restoring the African people back to their rightful place. Your subjugation is almost over. There are hints and clues as to why we were subjugated in the first place. Srila Prabhupada often points out that it was a black man who started the age of Kali Yuga. And what was he attacking when he was starting the age of Kali Yuga? He was attacking a cow, ironically, and the cow stood on 4 legs. The 4 legs represented truth, penance and austerity, cleanliness, and I believe charity. He had chopped down a leg for charity, cleanliness, and penance and austerity. And by the time the person who rescued the cow, Maharaj Parikshit, arrived on the scene, the cow was only standing on 1 leg. And that leg is truth. So no matter what happens in this life, you can always find truth if you look hard enough. You might not find cleanliness. You might not find people who are interested in penances or austerities. You might not find too much mercy out there, but you will find truth. The attack on the cow, whether it's symbolic or literal, was the downfall of the African civilization. And there might be a strong connection to that verse in the Bible where it shows that when we turned away from our forefathers, that's why we were cursed to come into slavery for what? 400 years. So as I'm telling my son this, he says, wait a minute, 400 years was our curse? I'm like, yeah. He said, wait a minute, 4 legs of the cows. I was like, wait, there might be something to that. There might be a connection. 4 legs of the cow, 4 times what? 10 is 400? No, that's 40. Right? So 4 times, I guess 4 times 100, yeah, that's 400, right? Okay, good. My math still works. It's funny because Krishna covers his devotees for 90% of their sins. I don't know, like, the sinful reaction. I'm just saying, I don't know how this math relates to each other, but I know that when you go backwards and forwards in division and multiplication, there's always some connections in math. So there has to be some connection between us going into slavery, turning away from our forefathers, getting cursed for 400 years, and the 4 legs of the cow that was being attacked by a particular man. Interesting time frame. 3100 BCE. Again, everything before 3100 BCE or 5,000 years ago was the Zeptepi, or the first age. Not the first age, the time from before. The time before everything became more mortal orientated. We were more dealing with beings of a higher order, beings who had particular powers, beings who were from different worlds, were on this planet intermingling and ruling over man. All right, that's what the ancient historical parables tell us. No matter what civilization you look at, before 5,000 years ago was an interesting time, but after 5,000 years ago, then we start getting these curses coming down on the chosen seed. So I just find it very important to remind Africans that you now have a place back at the table of divinity, and no one can deny you no more. No one can say you're insignificant. As a matter of fact, I've mentioned this in other videos before, that all of the races of man were to come together. The Native Americans were supposed to bring the secrets of earth, European secret of fire, Asian secret of air, and African was supposed to bring the secret of water to the table. You know how important water is. Water is also associated with the original 9 clans of Kenya. They were matriarchal Kikuyu clan women, and the reason why I associate with water with them is because these were the original 9 wombs of the planet Earth, of modern human civilization, according to a book called African History for Beginners by Herb Boyd. And I only see the association because I know that there are 9 river goddesses associated with, first of all, primarily with the goddess Oya, but also even in Krishna's pastime when Radha Kund was being built. Radha was building a pond so that she could wash and purify herself, and she was doing it as an act of devotion to Krishna. Actually, she was digging a pond with her bangles, and Krishna asked her, if you saw the cartoon, you'll see he asked her if she needed help. She was like, nah, but he insisted to help her anyway. And if I'm not mistaken, the number of goddesses that he brought to that location to fill up her pond was 9 goddesses. And then, of course, in Africa, again, you got the 9 goddesses of the Oya River system. And then, you know, by expansion, all of the great rivers of the earth were homes to great civilizations. Like you have the Tuatha Daanan. Tuatha Daanan are the children who went through Europe, and they were of an advanced species, and their mother goddess was Dana, Danan, Tuatha Daanan. So you have the Danube River in Europe, where a lot of great ancient civilizations was. You have goddess Saraswati, expanding her reach into India. The Saraswati, y'all got to research the Saraswati River Valley civilization. And apparently they were extremely advanced, but yeah, when the water dries up, again, water is so necessary. When the water dries up, if you can't control the water, then you're going to lose your civilization. That's another reason why the Pharaoh was so important, because he was a master of hydraulics. So these people in Africa had the secrets of liquid fluidity. They built their pyramids on top of water. Water is everything. So you got the water people connected to the mother. And you know, the cow is the only animal that could convert grass and water into milk. I mean, a certain kind of milk that builds fine brain matter. You see, most mammals create milk, but their milk is not really beneficial to the highest extent for the human brain. Only protected cow's milk builds finer brain matter. And if you look up finer brain matter, it helps you assimilate spiritual and transcendental thought. So again, welcome back, children of Africa. You can have a place at the table of divinity and nobody can deny you because you come from the motherland and the cow is the mother. Okay, the cow is the mother no matter how you look at it. Cow, mother of all living, is the cow. You know? So take it for what it's worth. Regain your spot. Wake up, Africa. I want to thank Dr. Mumbi for inspiring me, as well as a whole lot of other people. You know what I mean? And as always, I ask people to look up this mantra because I believe that it'll make your life better in some kind of way. And the mantra is the Hare Krishna mantra, and it sounds as follows. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for viewing. Some Man Patu out.